Hello there everyone, I'm Eastern Gamer, and this is my bot. Currently it's in the dev phase, but it's transitioning to the stable phase right now. It currently features primarily your basics, clear, polls, and that sort of thing. It's got some utility commands and such, and I'd like to just introduce you to it, I guess. So let's just start off with the basic commands that everyone has access to. So first off, you got latency. Now this will do a very unique ping, which is pretty accurate to the current ping it has. Will decrease over time, and maybe increase depending on the internet usage. Then you got your stats. Now this will give you stats of the bot, current version, the memory usage, the uptime, and the messages processed. Then we got your stats user. Now, stats user can just be left by itself. In other words, it will get the stats of you, or you can do at someone. So I can get it of the dev bot here. Gives me the user ID, its status, and its creation date. Now, as an example for me, you can see there. Then we've got stats server. Now this will get stats of this server, member counts, guild ID, creation date, and the guild owner. Not much else to say here. There's also a few cool commands called list settings. This will be useful if you want to just check the settings are set correctly. Currently you see there's no admin roles set or mod roles. You can see there's a command prefix, so I can tell you the command prefix obviously. Then we got list role. There won't be any, so it will just do that. I'll show you that later once we populate it. And that's about it for the commands a normal user can do. Now let's move on to the moderator controls. Let's do poll. Doesn't matter if you do capitals or anything, but it will matter with this. So for every single let's say argument, you can say the first one for the poll will be title. So the title is cool, so for example, is then split with the ending there, and then we got the next one, which will be no, it is, God, not typing, not, and yes, it is. Let's do a question mark. Okay. This can be supported up to 9 options after the title. And there we go. Deletes my previous message and spawns in the poll, etc. Okay. Then, let's move on. We got then the prefix command. This is the main reason for the bot. As you might know, in things like TS, you got like prefixes for some roles, which you can assign to your user. It's similar to this, so let's get someone so you can see it in real time. Let's add this guy with the tester role, and this guy with the tester role. So currently they've got the tester role. So how this works is you exclamation mark prefix at the role, and then we do this as the argument. And now what will happen is I'll put in the prefix. There is a limit to this. I think it's 26 characters, so if the character limit goes over, it can't set the name, unfortunately, due to Discord. As you can see, it just changed the names in the online tab here to now be public tester example. Upon removing that, it will then change the names back to normal. What is also cool is if I were to add those roles back, like that, you can now see it almost instantly attaches the name. And remove it, as you can see. Now, as a suffix, I'm going to do this with a div bot itself. So currently it's got this role. Yeah, Phoenix. Okay. I believe it's not set here. 1 second, yeah. One thing to also note, you have to be able to mention this role. Okay, suffix, here we go. Let's say dev. And of course this will be added onto the back of the name, as you know a suffix is. And there we go, dev, and let's remove it. This will work for both of them, both suffix and prefix, if you just fill it with empty space. Okay. Now, there's also a new command I recently added called set private messages, or set private, really. Now you can do true or false. I'm going to go true for this to show you the test. So now if I do list settings, it will send me a message privately about the settings. And list role, list, nah, that won't work. Stats server. So now it will just send you this information. This will not work due to it being in a private message, so be careful. It's not going to be very useful, yeah. Anyway. So you can actually see it's got all this here. Nice and easy. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is the end of moderator controls. Let's go to administrator. Okay, so here's one of the major ones, which is set C prefix, in other words set command prefix. Now all you have to do is add a space and then the prefix, so it can be this. Now all commands including set C prefix will have that. Let me set it to something easier. This is to prevent conflicts with other bots, in case you do have any more. Okay, let's go on to the next thing, which is set mod. So, at the administrator role, you can set the moderator role. Obviously, you can't do it as a moderator, so yeah. So I'm gonna set the moderator role now. Let's just do JRS, for instance. Now, moderator role is that. Now, anyone with that role will have commands that the moderator has, which is poll, prefix, suffix, set private, you know. Do work. I'm going to change this back to the normal prefix. Don't have any other bots except for the stable version on here, which is not in this channel. Okay, now let's move on to set welcome. This is another command on a user joining the server. He will be messaged almost like in the top channel. So landing, for instance, will be the point of where he would be messaged. Example. So in here you got two options. You got mention. Let's see this. And user. So mention will obviously mention the user, and user will just put his name in there. I'll demonstrate this towards the end of the video. As you can see, this is how it would probably look for the welcome message. And then let's go to the set welcome. Set leave message, I mean. So set leave similar, but you can't use hashtag mention, it will just set that to nothing if you try to do it. So I'll show you. So for instance, it just deleted the mention part because you can't mention the person that has left. Okay, now let's move on to the next bit, which will enable and disable these messages altogether. Set welcome leave. Now this can be true or false. I'm gonna go true for now. So now they're true. They've always been true, so changing it to true doesn't actually matter. And let's do the next command. So I've got a bunch of junk in the way now and stuff. There's a lot of commands. Let's do this clear, and I'm gonna do, say, 20. Okay, so it has cleared basically everything, up until about where I started the video. Almost, not really. Let's do this. There's also another cool feature called clear 10 dash, say, 20. So now this will go from 10 to 20. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it should delete this message and everything above it for another 10. Let's try it. Okay, so there may be an issue there. What happened was, I believe it left this message and deleted the top message. That is just a simple bug to fix. But other than that, there's also this. The one limitation is you can't do more than 100 and to clear at once. As you can see, it has given me an error. Number is too large, and this is a Discord limitation, unfortunately. So nothing I can do about it. Also, if I were to clear 100, clear 100, now we've got a problem because I've now run into a message that is older than 2 weeks old. So Discord unfortunately limits you to 2 weeks of bulk deleting messages. Of course, I can still delete these messages, but I've got to do it manually. Then we have restore. So let's just say I accidentally deleted some important information. Now, upon doing restore, it'll send me a file containing all the messages, which I will then download, and here it is. It'll give me the time index along with the user's name and the message sent. For instance, if there's an embed, which is those cool looking blocks, it will just leave empty though, so don't expect those back. As you can see, this one was on the 7th of the 12th. This one was on the 7th of the 6th. So it goes from this way up. At least that's what seems to be the case here. Yeah. This can be useful in some situations where you want to recover something that someone tried to delete. Of course, it can only save one at a time, so don't expect anything else. Suppose if you knew some botting, you could actually do an auto logging system where you automatically do that upon a deletion and then you archive it, but that's a little bit complicated, to say the least. Okay. Now, one of the really cool features, which I really like, is role assign. Now, this is a very nice command, because I'm going to do it in the main chat, actually. Role assign, let's say at codex, at this guy, at this guy. Now I can do at everyone, but in this case I don't want to do at everyone. Yeah. I don't know how to do this guy. Uh, mention. Here we go. Okay. Then I have to type those characters. And then I can say at the role. So I'm gonna do at public supporters. And done. Now everyone that I mentioned will now have the public supporters role. I'm gonna now apply a prefix of I'll show you in a second here. And now it will change everyone's name with that to have that prefix. Okay. Just as an example of a good reason to have it. And then you got a similar command called role remove. I'm not going to do that too much to anyone. I'm going to go role remove at the shrimp guy, for instance, at the role public supporters, and it's removed that role. Now it doesn't matter what order you do it in. It can be name first or role first, whatever you want to do. Oops. Okay. Now let's go to test again. That is all the commands for the administrator. Now the owner. Now the owner is only really has one command, unfortunately. But that's just how it is. His command is set admin. Now this is to prevent admins, of course, setting different admin roles and such. So I'm going to set the admin as admin. Okay, now the administrator role is admin, and he can now access all the commands we just wrote. Alright, so, all well and good. Now, how do I set up my bots, you know? I want to just get it running. Well, that's pretty simple. I'm just gonna delete the information I've set. I'm gonna restart the bot. Now you go through the process of starting it up. Okay, so it will send you a message saying thanks for adding this Phoenix bot. The following can be dangerous in the wrong hands. Currently it is pretty useless. I don't have anything for this, so you can see it. I'll probably reset it anyway. Okay. And then it says how to set up a bot. So you can start with setting the admin role. Only the admin can do that, and then the moderator role, and then the prefix if it clashes with anything. If you receive this 2 times, please contact me. It's obviously, in that case, then you have probably changed your name, the Discord name. So if I were to change the Discord name currently, it will be fine. But if you were to do it whilst the bot's offline, it will basically, the way it works, it will almost not work. You have to recreate everything. So if it does happen, there's always the option of just changing the name back, and then whilst the bot's online, change your name. So currently there's no issue. All it did was basically recreate all the information onto the same different name, basically, if that can make any sense. Alright, so let's set the admin role at admin roles of here. Yeah, okay. That's good. I'm going to now do set welcome. It's gonna be mention thinking on my feet. Okay, so it will be read like that basically, and then set leave. And I'm gonna make sure this is enabled, although I do know it's already enabled. Sorry, welcome leave. Editing the message will not help, by the way. You've got to actually retype it, unfortunately. Okay. Now, let's go to... Alright, let's just retry this again. Sorry, I had to get a link. Okay. So, let's get this bot to get kicked. Just bye-bye, don't need you anymore. So it will send a message, has left us. Okay, I'm gonna invite him back. And he has joined us. Okay. I'm gonna clear this. It's not gonna clear too much. It's gonna run into a limitation here. Okay. Then that's about it, really. Bot's pretty much fully set up. One cool thing is if you type commands, it will give you all the commands that you have access to. Since I am the owner, I have access to all the commands, but if you were just a normal user, it would just send this. And if you're a moderator, just send this. And if you're an admin, it would send this. It's got a very basic setup here of how you could do it. As you can see. With the exclamation mark help command, it's going to send this video that I'm currently doing right now, but currently it is not implemented, so yeah. Anyway, see you guys. Hope to see you again sometime. And if you have any issues, join me on the Discord link that is down in the description. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Alright, I forgot to do one more thing here. There's another command which will be quite useful to you. Those that want to give some suggestions, you do suggest. I don't know. Maybe add some lights or something. So feedback will be successfully sent to me, and I'll get the message. I actually don't really need this. It will just give me basic information, who you are, the server you're from, and just an icon of the server. So if I need to get in contact with you, I can, in some form. But that's about it. Not much else to say. Also, I'll show you the settings after all the stuff is set. You can see it will add the mention of this, the true, falses, and all that, and list role. Yes. And list role. There we go. So it will just give you an example and then the role below it. So that's about it. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.